Guys, back to you another video. Today we're going to be reviewing 28 Years Later Bone Temple. 20 Years Later Bone Temple came out back in January, and I just now got the privilege to see it. Not privilege, I'm joking. I've been able to see it, but it just got on Netflix. Sorry. But if you don't know, I watched 28 Years Later from last year in theaters. I also watched 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, and I reviewed it leading up to years. Love 28 Days Later. I'm not a 28 Weeks Later fan, and love 28 Years Later. 20 Years Later, I think, is the best in the franchise. Until they announced a sequel. And I was disgusted. I knew they were making a sequel, but I was like, you're gonna make one the following January and expect us to think it's good? And then it came out, and I heard so much buzz for it, so much hype, and I wanted to see it in theaters eventually. Theaters? I wanted to see it in theaters, but just never had time to. But finally, I get to watch it. It's on Netflix, and I'm giving it an A. Dude, this almost an A+. It's like there with Undertone. Dude, this movie was phenomenal, dude. Yes, the zombies get sidelined again, but it's for the better, because this is more of a horror movie than 28 Years Later. 20 Years Later is more of a drama, stuff like that. That's why people didn't like 20 Years Later. And the ending, the people that are in the ending of Years are in this one, and it's great. But I get why people didn't like that ending, but that didn't ruin the movie for me. But it was basically, we'll get to it. But people didn't like that movie because it was more of a drama instead of a horror. This one is where you get your horror, but it's not the zombies, it's devilish cults. And man, dude, this movie was so good. Basically, the cult is the Jimmies. The Jimmies is who you saw at the end of the movie, and they recruit Spike. Spike is the kid from 20 Years Later from last year. He is the main character, the kid, and they recruit him, and you are following him, seeing what the Jimmies are doing. The Jimmies are psychopaths. They look up to Satan, and they look at him as their father, and the one that they want to meet. It's going to be hard for me to spoil this one. I'm not going to spoil it, though. And there's two different stories happening. One, the Jimmies and Spike. Spike doesn't want to be a part of the Jimmies, but ends up being a part of the Jimmies. And the Jimmies are trying to look for old Nick, who is Satan. Great. That storyline is phenomenal. And how that concludes is some of the best stuff I've ever seen in my life. Other set plot, the doctor, I forgot his name, but the doctor from the last movie, 20 Years Later, is back. And it's his relationship with Samson, the zombie. Not relationship, but him figuring out how to do this, interacting with Samson, and that part's pretty cool as well. Not as good as the Jimmy part, in my opinion, but I really enjoyed this part with him and Samson. If that was its own movie, I honestly wouldn't mind it. It would just be a tad boring. That's why I'm glad that wasn't the main focus of this movie. Eventually, the two stories collide, and dude, some of the best stuff I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to give one spoiler, okay? The one spoiler, actually it's two spoilers, but it's in one, 2 sentences. So skip ahead if you don't want to get spoiled. So the head, the main Jimmy, Sir Jimmy, and the Jimmies, they think that the doctor, because his skin is orange, even though that's just trying to get rid of the infected, because of his skin, he is Satan. So Sir Jimmy goes down there, leaves the others up, asks if he's Old Nick, and he says no. And then eventually he basically bribes him to put on a show as he, like, pretending like he's Satan so that he can prove to the other Jimmies that he found Satan. And he does just that, but because of him figuring out Spike is not wanting to be involved, but he figures out that he is with the Jimmies, he sacrifices himself. And eventually leading to Sir Jimmy being defeated. A bunch of other stuff happens. It's so cool. He gets defeated and crucified on the upside down cross. Kind of like Peter. But not like that. That's different. But he gets hung, like, crucified on the upside down cross. And it is so cool. You, like, see him, by the way. Like, you hear him scream in agony for such a long time. And it's so good. And then, I'm still spoiling it, but it's fine. It eventually also leads to the death of the Doctor. This movie's phenomenal. So yeah, A, almost an A+. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment below what your 6 videos. I'll see y'all in the next vid. I'm going to be streaming soon. I'll probably already stream before this video comes out. Peace, y'all.